This video addresses entering a reservation for an existing customer. Under Booking and Logistics, select the Add Existing Customer Reservation. In the following window, enter in the information you would like to search for. By searching, you will be presented with the list of customers that match the criteria as searched above. Select the appropriate customer and click on New Reservation. In the following window, you will be prompted to select whether the reservation is a standard ground reservation, an arrival, or a departure. These selections may affect pricing based upon your pricing setups. In the following window, you will need to select the day of the reservation as well as the time for the pickup. If the passenger name is the same as the customer, no changes are required. If it is a different passenger, you may enter that passenger name, or if it is one of the existing passengers already associated with the customer in their profile, you may select them from the drop-down list. You will then be prompted to which information you would like to include in the reservation. If there are additional passengers, you should select the appropriate amount. If there are additional bags, you may also keep track of that. Greet sign alias would be used if the customer would like to be met at the airport with a different name than their customer name. Passenger cell. An ordered by should be selected from one of the contacts if previously entered in the customer profile. Passenger email and ordered by phone. Reference PO if required and cost code if required. Booking source, trip category, booking category, and trip type are required if selected in the system settings to require these options. If not, they are not required to complete the reservation. By selecting these various options, you will indicate on the dispatch grid the type of reservation. Please keep in mind that all of these may also be used to generate revenue reports at a later date. You may enter in trip notes which are specific to the reservation as well as preferences. These will show up on trip sheets and or confirmations depending upon the system settings you have set previously. If you are intending to send this job out to a farm out affiliate, you may enter notes here which will then show up on the farm out confirmation. Below that, you are required to enter an address. You may utilize any of the other addresses which are previously populated into the customer profile, as well as any that are entered in the corporate profile if the customer is associated with a corporate profile. You may also select any of the reservation venues as entered previously under the list management. By selecting the appropriate name, the address and information will be populated into the reservation. If there are any stops to be made between the pickup and the drop-off locations, they may be added in the interim stops. By selecting the Add Stop, you will have access to all of the addresses associated to the customer and corporate client. Any reservation venues previously entered, any passengers that are associated to the customer. You may also select the type of stop, whether it is a physical stop or getting a passenger. Enter in the information as required, and the stops will be displayed on confirmations as well as on all trip sheets. By selecting the appropriate stop, it will be populated into the list of stops. You may add as many stops as you would like. You may delete existing stops. edit the information if required. If the customer wishes to change the order of stops, you may highlight and move down or up. Payment type and credit card is pre-populated from the customer profile. You may select other credit cards as associated to the customer by utilizing the drop-down list, or add a new one, which will then be stored to the customer profile for later. Select the appropriate pricing plan if one has not already been set for the customer in their profile. Select the vehicle type. If it is a point-to-point or zone, you may select from the available list. In doing so, the prices will reflect accordingly to the previously set up pricing plans. You may also do a pre-authorization on the credit card if you are using the integrated processing by selecting the authorization button. These will be the default minimums and estimates and rates as set in the pricing plans already entered into the system. You may adjust any of these here accordingly if they are something different than the defaults. The list of fixed items which were entered into the default pricing, any of these may be adjusted here, as well as deleted if they are not needed in the reservation. Please keep in mind that leaving them as 0, they will not be presented on confirmations or trip sheets. They are only internal notes that may be added later. You may adjust the discounts if required, as well as set any taxes from the previously entered taxes utilizing the drop-down list. If you are sending this job to a farm out affiliate, you may enter in the cost as quoted to them by them and select the appropriate affiliate from the window, which will cause that affiliate to be assigned to the reservation once you have saved it. If there are agents, commission agents, entered in the customer profile, they will be available in this list, and you may select or deselect any of them to receive the commission. You may save this reservation as a quotation. You may also save and book next segment, which will attach the two reservations to each other. You may add a new deposit to this by selecting the Add New Deposit on Save. Once all of the information has been entered appropriately, you may then select the OK button if you wish to save the reservation, or cancel if you decide that you no longer want to book this reservation.